So you might be wondering, what have I been up to? Well, let me tell you, my last 5 trips, I have been skunked. Wow. For a whole month, I haven't caught one fish. Not one. We are running out of content, boys. We need to catch fish.
Alright guys, gotta get back up. This is gonna be a fun part.
I've been fly fishing. I've been doing every single type of fishing I can, and I just can't catch anything. When will the struggles end, boys? And it ended like this.
It's just a big black thing with a little bit of green on the top. Has some flasher buoy on it. We're gonna throw Mr. Flasher Buoy into that huge undercut under there and see if a monster lurking in the depths decides to take. Alright. Got one. Got a fish. Got a fish. Oh no! No! You see that? Oh man.
Now, back to important matters. Alright guys, so let's talk about the important matter. I'm not saying the other thing is very important. I mean, that's very important. I need to get some content, man. Let's get to this thing. Look at the title. So you might be wondering, what does tag mean? I've been tagged by Steven from Session Outdoors. And what this tag thing is, it's just something going around between YouTubers. And pretty much you answer 3 questions. They tell you 3 questions. They tag 3 different YouTubers to answer the questions. And I just happen to be one of the YouTubers. Big shout out to Steven from Session Outdoors, because this is actually be a really cool thing. And I got some crazy fishing stories I'm going to tell you all based off of these questions. I already got them written down, so I remember what I'm going to say. Let's get right into these questions. These are absolutely awesome. And after I respond to these questions, I'm going to tag 3 more YouTubers. But alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed these fish stories. Let's just get straight into this video. Let's get it! Alright guys, so question number 1 is, what is your most memorable fishing moment? And you're not going to believe this. My most memorable is, this was before I was a YouTuber. I used to, when I didn't have a car, I used to actually walk in the dead middle of winter, no matter if it was slush, 10 degrees, I'd be out there and I'd walk actually a mile to this little tributary that was near my house, because it actually holds some giant wild browns during the winter. And it was so crazy. So I go down there, it's pouring down freezing rain. I am shivering to death. I'm like a mile away from my house. And I just cast in there, like, it's super dirty and muddy. I'm like, how am I gonna catch anything out of this? First cast, I cast it all the way to the end of the hole. And I actually didn't notice, but I actually did some research. Big wild browns actually hang at the end of the holes because they get the food. It's easy for them to pick off food because all the water's going towards them, and that means all the bait fish, all the food, it's going towards them. So what happened was, I literally threw my rod, not my rod, my worm, I use night crawlers, all the way to the end of the hole. This fish just boom, hammered this thing, and I was like, oh my god, no way. And I couldn't believe it. It was going, this thing was so quick, it was almost like I had Sonic on my line, like Sonic the Hedgehog. This thing was like, and then it goes soaring under the bridge. Because I fish under a bridge. This was actually during the summer, it wasn't during the winter, but it just soared under the bridge because they hang under the bridge because in the summer it's covered for them. The big cement bridge, they hang under it because it's cooler under there, and it gives them a lot of cover, so they're just chilling in there, waiting to be caught, which nobody else knows about. Hopefully still. Because it's right next to a road and everybody sees me fishing. That's the worst part about it. But I caught this fish, oh my gosh, it was a 19.5-inch wild brown. Here's the picture. Alright guys, just a little quick note. I didn't know how to handle trout back in the day, and I learned over time from many conservationists and many different fly fishermen and trout fishermen around my area. Because at first, when I posted this picture on Instagram of me having this wild brown just straight up on the grass, oh, it sparked some conservationists. And after they told me it wasn't right, I wanted to learn and make sure I was handling trout correctly. So big shout out to Shane Allison. Big shout out to Kevin Saylor. Big shout out to every single trout fisherman that taught me how to properly catch and release trout. Because at first, gotta tell you, I thought I was doing all the right things. Ended up, I wasn't even close. Now, let's continue to the next question. Alright guys, so the next question I got that he told me to answer was my least memorable fishing moment. Ah, man, I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. So, similar situation, same place. It's actually the same tributary that I fished before. This is before YouTube. So, it is raining. I mean, it's snowing out. It's sleeting out. There's sleet all over the ground. I'm literally walking in this creek, and I'm slipping and sliding everywhere. I fell on my face, like, at least 3 times. And my parents are like, why'd you do that? I'm like, I did it for the fish. So, same situation. I readily cast all the way to the end of the hole again. And this time, I even had a bigger fish on. This fish was not 19.5 inches. This fish had to be a 22, 23-inch wild brown. And this creek is only like 3 feet wide, by the way. That's the crazy part about this place. It's only like 3 feet wide, but there's huge fish in it. And I've never caught one small wild brown. They're all humongous. It's really weird. But anyway, so I was fishing, all of a sudden this fish takes another, it goes, boo! Yeah, it hammered it. And again, it was like Sonic, but instead, this thing, the first thing it did is it just went crazy and went right for the bridge. And guess what it did when it went for the bridge? It cut me right off on the edge of the bridge. And I was so mad. What I did was I literally took my ugly stick, and you know how strong ugly sticks are? They usually never break. I broke it in half. I literally broke an ugly stick in half. I was so mad. And then I was like, well, I have no fishing gear now to fish with, and I just walked home in the rain with a broken in half ugly stick. Alright, yeah, as you can tell, that wasn't my best moment. Now let's get on to the next question. Jesus. Alright guys, so the next question is, who got me into fishing? Now this is a hard question because, well actually no it's not. My dad is the one that got me into fishing. Ever since I was 5, he had me fishing actually down at a pond. We actually called it John's Pond. And yeah, it was a pond, it was full of bass. That's pretty much what it was, a pond full of bass. And it was awesome. We caught some really nice largemouth. I even caught a few channel catfish sometimes. But funny thing was, right behind the pond, there's actually a native brook trout stream. But it's a very, very small native brookie stream. But it was funny. Like, we'd actually go back there, and it's like, there's actually a little minnow trap the guy uses because he actually goes fishing for flatheads. Not with the natives. He releases all of the native brookies, but he uses the chubs in the creek, to fish for, big flatheads. You know what? I do it too, actually. I feel guilty doing it though because I hate killing fish. But anyways, that's where I really started fishing. But another person the person who really made me want to do this YouTube thing was One Rod One Reel and watching Catch 'em All Fishing, man. Zach Catchem. If you guys could somehow get Zach Catchem to watch this video, man, oh my gosh, that would be a blessing. He is the man. And I absolutely love his channel. He actually broke 1 million subscribers in a matter of 2 years. He only been YouTubing for just 2 years. A lot of it has to do with him living in Miami and catching peacock bass and crazy fish all the time. All I got is trout, man. Which is not a bad thing, but I live in boring York, PA. Best place in the world, guys. Alright guys, and people tagging your fish hawk, enthusiastic fisherman, and peel and drag. Make sure you go check out all of their channels. I put them all in the description below. They're absolutely awesome channels. But do me a favor, let Fish Hawk and Peel and Drag know that I tagged them because they're a little bit bigger YouTubers and they're always working on content. They're always busy. I want to make sure that they see that they got tagged. And make sure you let them know, what they mean by tag. Just tell them to watch my video, and they will completely understand. But thank you so much to getting me to 600 subscribers, because actually overnight I got 600 subscribers. I couldn't believe it, man. Thank you so much for all the support, like seriously. Alright guys, so now let's get to the questions. I had to think about these a little bit because I wanted to make them at least somewhat interesting. These were very interesting questions. It's funny, they're the most simplest questions, but you can make a whole story out of them, and that's what I want to try to do. I want to make this video interesting to you guys, so you guys didn't, I didn't want them to be this little short answers. I wanted to make it interesting and intriguing. So, that's what I'm always about. But anyway, so your questions, guys, to everybody that I've tagged. What is the weirdest fishing moment that you have ever had? What is your biggest fishing accomplishment ever? And I'm talking about like just ever, overall. And I threw this in again. What is your least memorable fishing trip? Because I know there's a ton of them that I definitely don't want to remember. Like from missing a humongous 25-inch trout to, whatever. Just throw something in there that'll, make a good story or whatever. And I'll see you on the next Aussie Fishing Adventures. Hopefully that will be soon. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to catch some fish this weekend. If I can't, I got some gizzard shad fishing coming up. And I'm not talking about small gizzard shad. I actually caught a gizzard shad. It was like a freaking carp. I mean, it was like this big. I couldn't believe it. You gotta see it to believe it though, boys. See you next week.